Hi everybody, glad to have you with us and glad it's been a beautiful Wednesday in the neighborhood. The 19th day of February has been a keeper, a picture perfect. The 20th, not so much. Everyone well aware of by now the potential for some severe weather out there. We'll outline it for you in more detail in just a few moments as a quickly developing area of low pressure is going to pass to the north of the area tomorrow, and then a cold front comes through, a significant one in nature, and with that a squall line of showers and thunderstorms, the chance of an isolated tornado or two, a wind advisory to take effect beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning, and a whole lot to talk about weather-wise. Also a whole lot to talk about news-wise as well. The only place you'll see any information brought to you on behalf of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting earlier this morning, a movement by some local individuals to see that horse-drawn carriages and buggies are allowed on the Dawkins Trail, and they're hoping to test the waters with that very topic very, very soon. McGoffin County High School highlights and other news and information in what's left of the next half hour. It's most all local news from this point forward to the end of the program, except for a couple of robberies, armed robberies. Last night in eastern Kentucky, police have reported that the Double Quick Marathon on Route 80 in Highland was robbed just after 11 o'clock last night. The clerk who was on shift says a man wearing an orange hoodie and a ski mask came into the establishment, brandished a handgun, and then demanded an amount of money. He fled in what was believed to be an older model black sedan with an undetermined amount of cash. And sometime last evening, the police in Floyd County were tipped off to a call of an armed robbery in Lackey. The Ready Mart there, someone had entered the business, brandished a weapon, demanded money. The man fled after getting an undetermined amount of cash. He was described as being about 6 feet tall, slender build, also wearing an orange hooded sweatshirt and denim jeans. Now that actually makes the second time almost in exactly a month that exact same store, the Double Quick Marathon in Knott County, has been robbed at gunpoint. In local headlines tonight, the McGoffin County Fiscal Court met in regular session earlier today. We'll cover as much of the meeting as possible this evening. Bridges, roads, a fallen soldier, a waste management grant application, and the Civil War Reenactment Committee. Just a few of the topics on the agenda. First, the results of the annual state inspection of all of McGoffin County's bridges. The annual inspection of all bridges revealed that all were in compliance to the tune of 100%. That means that the county can go on to receive more than $63,000 from the state to go toward replacing several wooden structures with new concrete bridges throughout various parts of the county.
They approved as an emergency bridge, so that's why we got a reduction from $80,000 to $63,600. We are proposing that we do bridges on the Brushy Fork of the Licking Road, Bud Adams Road, Half Mountain Creek Road, Lee Howard Road, Cheek Cemetery Road, Stamper Road, White Oak Loop, and Round Mountain Road. So we're doing some in every district. And what we're doing is we had approached the state and said, we have some people that are certified in bridge work. Can we do these bridges ourselves, get more bang for our buck, and replace some of these wooden bridges with concrete structures? So I think we're going to be doing a total of 10 for this round. And if this works out well and they're happy, then I think we can look at doing some additional work ourselves. That saves us a lot of money and gives the people a bigger bang for their buck.
In other business, as I referred to some degree when covering the report on the passing of Private First Class Joshua Gray, the soldier from Afghanistan who was killed in Afghanistan recently, his father, Seth Gray, was a great servant to McGoffin County through the Mountain Comprehensive Care Center for which he worked, something that was recognized this morning in the meeting.
From Johnson County, but his father has worked in McGoffin County at Mountain Comp for many years and has been very important to our community in terms of helping a lot of suffering. And I guess most of you know there's hardly any suffering worse than psychological suffering. And this gentleman was in Afghanistan, and he is now deceased. I also really don't care what part of Kentucky he's from. Anyone who will give the ultimate sacrifice deserves our gratitude, and I think as a county we should send a resolution, since his father has been in our county so many years, honoring him. McGoffin County Judge Executive Resolution honoring the service and ultimate sacrifice of PFC Joshua Allen Gray. Whereas Joshua Allen Gray was a 2011 graduate of Johnson Central High School. Whereas Joshua was an extremely intelligent young man with an academic record so impressive his career choices were without limit. And whereas with unbounded options, Joshua Allen Gray made the decision to enlist in the United States Army and begin his service in November 2012, following the steps of his father and grandfather who also served their country. And whereas Joshua attained the rank of Private First Class and was honored with the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the NATO Medal, the Overseas Ribbon, the Army Service Ribbon, the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, and the Expert Marksmanship Badge. And whereas Joshua Allen Gray served as a Satellite Communication System Officer Maintainer assigned to the headquarters at Battalion of the Army's 10th Mountain Division. And whereas Private First Class Joshua Allen Gray began a tour in Afghanistan in January 2014 as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. And whereas on February the 10th, 2004, at Bagram Air Force, Afghanistan, Private First Class Joshua Gray Allen made the ultimate sacrifice when on that day he gave his life for his country. And whereas the Gray family is of special importance to Montgomery County, as Joshua's father, Seth Gray, has faithfully served our citizens at Mountain Comprehensive Care Center for many years, providing first-rate care to countless Montgomery Countyans in their time of need. And I now, therefore, Charles E. Hardin, Jr., M.D., Montgomery County Judge Executive, on behalf of the Montgomery County Fiscal Court and the citizens of Montgomery County, do hereby extend our sincerest sympathy to Seth Gray and the entire Private First Class Joshua Allen Gray's family. But most importantly, we want to express our gratitude and honor him for his brave service and ultimate sacrifice to our great nation.
Still no word yet on when Gray's body will be returning home. We are closely awaiting that announcement from friends and family. From there, the business was Future Sewer Service of Montgomery County, only an application at this particular point in time, but the possibility of a future addition of sewer service would go to serve more citizens in that capacity of Montgomery County and lead to economic growth in the future.
Consideration for applying for community development block grant funds to provide wastewater infrastructure for the industrial park. This would be a $1 million application that will be submitted to the Department for Local Government in the 2014 funding round, which opens in March.
What we're wanting to do is to get infrastructure down to the East Kentucky industrial site that we've purchased, and this is part of what we're doing along with coal severance money. This does three things. Number one, its most important thing is it gets infrastructure down to our industrial site. Number two and three together is it will provide sewer services to several Montgomery County families along the way, and it will also make it more cost effective for the citizens of Salyersville, and those citizens are out in Montgomery County already receiving city sewer price services, so that would make the cost less than if we don't get this project. So hey, that's a triple win, as they say. I would like to submit this as a motion to be adopted by the fiscal court. Is there a second? Motion been made second. Any discussions? Do you have any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And one of the last few orders of business was to discuss two proposals by the state to purchase county-owned property. The first, a small parcel of property that will allow for the completion of the Diamond Interchange, the new Route 7 exit off the Mountain Parkway to go along with the four-laning project, a $2,700 purchase, which the county graciously accepted. Even more graciously accepting, though, was more than $30,000 for property that will go towards the Diamond Interchange at the industrial park,
which is down where the old toll booth was, where we're going to put the East Kentucky industrial site. They are going to purchase land from us as a county, so it'll belong to them, which is essentially those hillsides on both sides and a little bit of where they need to own to have that interchange. They've proposed they give us $37,150. I want y'all to know this is the first time I ever felt guilty taking money from the state in my life. But, you know, we've lobbied them very, very, very hard to get this. And we spent $250,000 of coal severance money, $6,000 of county money, property's worth at least twice that before the interchange goes up, and now they're gonna turn around and give us $37,000 back, so, you know, I just don't know how to say other than thank you and make a motion that we accept this offer. I'd feel plumb ashamed to ask them for a penny more. Is there a second? I say, motion been made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
It's also noteworthy that as the state 4 lanes and widens the Mountain Parkway as it passes through the old tollgate plaza area where the industrial site is going to sit on the county-owned property, they're going to 4-lane it. They're also going to construct a diamond interchange there to access the industrial park. And then they're going to build a 3-lane bridge over the 4-laning of the Mountain Parkway. At the same time, during all of that construction, they're going to pay for all the engineering and permits to use any dirt from that project and all those associated projects to fill the industrial park at a flood level for the county. Fiscal Court also, before closing, elected to make the 3rd Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. their new meeting date until further notice. Always the best selection of hand-picked, quality, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with the service, prices, and financing aimed at making sure you drive off with the deal and vehicle you've been looking for. Premier Motors in Paintsville, 297-4121. The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polarises. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 o'clock only at your Sangersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where Thursday is Dipper Day. That's right, get our boneless wing dipper meal with your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.99 or only $4.29 after 4 p.m. only at your Sangersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sangersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sangersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. The next story is twofold, at least twofold. I'm sure there are many more aspects that we can pull out of it. It's to talk about a movement on behalf of some local individuals to see that buggies and horse-drawn carriages are allowed on the Dawkins Trail. And it's also an announcement, a reminder, if you will, about the next big Civil War reenactment here in McGoffin County. We're going to be talking a great deal about it because it's going to be a great big event. It's actually the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Puncheon. And just how neat would it be to be able to, during the reenactment and the trail ride associated with it, take a little buggy ride on the Dawkins Trail, something that currently isn't allowed by state law.
So far, we have not been able to secure the right to have buggies on the trail, mainly due to the fact that they won't fit through the passageways on the gates that are designed to curb four-wheelers. I'm hopeful and have every hope that we will be able to secure some set dates, perhaps a weekend or so a month, where the gates can be opened that day to allow buggy access. I think this would open up a whole new group of people that could enjoy the trail. Lots of senior citizens, disabled, and even children would much prefer to ride a buggy or wagon on the trail as to ride a horse. There is a growing equine industry dedicated to buggies, and you could certainly have buggy rentals, rides, It could open up some economic opportunities for some individuals, and it would open up the trail to, like I said, to disabled people to have better access, senior citizens who aren't comfortable being astride a horse could be quite comfortable in a buggy.
So while advocating for the permanent or even temporary use of buggies on the trail, the only reason given to Reisner thus far for their current ban is the fear of opening the gates may lead to the floodgates being open, so to speak, for four-wheelers and ATVs to take advantage of the opportunity to have easy access to the trails. And, of course, they're prohibited from doing so. But Reisner quickly points out the smooth, flat trail is not really a venue that ATV riders typically enjoy, and if they wanted on the trail, they could easily get around any of the gates, open or closed.
As most people are aware, we put on a reenactment every year. This year we will be here in this Punching Battlefield Community Park, and one of the events to kick off the reenactment will be Friday, April the 11th, and it will be a trail ride on the Dawkins Trail, which follows the route taken by the soldiers that were engaged in this battle. And one of the important people in that battle was a lady. Her name was Eliza Whitaker Joseph, and she rode a horse to Louisa to warn the Union of what was transpiring on Punching. The Confederates were raiding people's supplies. They had, the term they used was commandeered 5 wagon loads of goods, and the people were in danger of starvation. So she made a daring ride to Louisa to warn Colonel Gallup that they needed help in this area. And we're having a trail ride Friday, April 11th, as I said, starting at noon at the Royalton Trailhead in honor of Eliza. And it is my hope that we can persuade the powers that be that control the rail trail to open the gates that day for a test run of buggies and allow buggies to participate in that trail ride.
So there's a whole lot happening in this part of the world. This is the lot that the Civil War Park is going to sit on. And my last update on that included a $132,000 grant that was quickly funneled toward the Civil War Reenactment Committee, perhaps quicker than most would have assumed. That project, with a little more paperwork to go, so said Regina McClure in this morning's fiscal court meeting, will pick up some steam on top of some already good momentum very soon.
The committee to know that we are moving along, and I apologize that it seems like it's a slow pace, but I can tell you, and Kylie can tell you from working on projects before, this project in this park has moved much faster than almost anything I've ever worked on. So we are moving forward, and you know, you're probably not going to see tangible things very soon, but when we get through all of this paperwork and meet all the requirements and satisfy all these agencies, then we'll get to start on the construction. And it's going to be an awesome thing to have.
As for the Battle of Punching at Half Mountain, the 150th anniversary, as you heard Randall say, April the 11th, 12th, and 13th. A grand remembrance is being planned for the 150th anniversary of the longest, most vicious Civil War battle fought in eastern Kentucky. The Civil War Reenactment Committee getting about $7,500 worth of help from the fiscal court promised earlier this morning just for that event. And it's going to be located right here, right by the South Magoffin Elementary School at the site of the new Punching Battlefield Community Park. They're asking that all history and horse lovers alike consider riding the Dawkins Trail on that Friday the 11th. They're going to start at noon at the Royalton Trailhead as part of the Civil War Battle of Punching reenactment. with or without buggies, well, we'll keep you posted on that. The ride's going to duplicate somewhat an actual event that Randall prescribed that took place on these grounds 150 years ago. So they welcome you to take part in this first annual Eliza Whitaker Joseph Memorial Trail Ride. Now, they're going to have a host of other events, and I've got plenty of time to remind you, but mark it down your calendar now. It all begins April the 11th, then the 12th and 13th. They're going to have zip lines, petting zoos, pony, buggy rides, vendors, craftspeople, and all sorts of neat, one-of-a-kind things for a one-of-a-kind event. Up next, tonight's community calendar, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. And that means birthdays with one tonight for Clifton Harold Cole, from a secret admirer, I'm told, and a whole lot of friends and family as well. Happy birthday today to Clifton Harold Cole. Other announcements include a reminder from your McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. Food boxes distributed tomorrow from 12:30 to 2:30. Please ask, it says, those who are on the waiting list to not come to the center. They'll call them if there are any boxes to be picked up. Now, you know, 12:30 to 2:30 tomorrow at your McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. And the McGoffin County 4-H organization is going to the Olympics tomorrow, 4:30 in the afternoon. All sorts of Olympic-themed games and activities and fun. They hope to see you there. A chili dinner has been set by the Elk Creek Church this Friday, 9 till 5, all day long. No excuses. You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you so choose. Regardless, eat with them by calling 349-8637 or 205-4914. You can eat in, carry out, or they will deliver. And the McGoffin County graduating class of 84 has a reunion planning meeting set for this Sunday 4th at the Sagersville Subway. All classmates are invited to come and help with the planning process and help them pick a date for it as well. And you're invited to use our calendar anytime you've got an announcement just like these. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. Turning to funeral service announcements for this Wednesday, the 19th day of February, brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We begin with a listing on behalf of my neighbor, Harry Puckett. Passed away at the age of 81 on yesterday's date. He was preceded in death by his loving wife, Mary, and he's survived by two sons, Daniel Lee and Paul Puckett, and daughter Vicki Gamble, and a host of family and friends. Mr. Puckett served as the Sagersville Fire Chief and a volunteer fireman for many, many years. He was also very well known as the owner and operator of Puckett's Taxi Service. Funeral services for Harry are going to be held Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Burial will follow at the family cemetery on Sugar Camp thereafter, and the family will welcome friends tomorrow evening after 6, all day Friday and before services on Saturday. From the McGoffin County Funeral Home, we've learned of the passing of 71-year-old Ethel Sloan of Sagersville, who passed away on today's date. Arrangements are still incomplete at this time, but are being put together and will be announced soon by McGoffin County Funeral Home.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
This year, W2 means we double. Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC will double your tax return up to $1,000. With more, here's Earl Justice.
Find 200 of our most popular vehicles with payment starting at just $149 a month with zero down. Plus all sales decision in 15 minutes or less, or I'll give you the vehicle.
This double your tax return event ends in 2 weeks at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Paintsville, Kentucky. Isn't it time to buy Hutch?
Attention candidates, for whatever you want to get your name and message on, shirts, caps, pins, matches, cozies, and more, call Avavian Deaton, and she can tell you about her campaign special. That's 72 caps and 24 t-shirts delivered to your door for a limited time low price of just $3.99. Call Avavian, 349-3835.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're gonna have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're gonna have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Well, my intentions were to include some highlights and a lot of basketball information this evening. A little short on time, but I was hoping to have some stats that aren't here yet in regards to the Hornet-Owsley County matchup the other night. So more on this tomorrow and more in the regular season and postseason, which starts next Monday. But I can tell you, and I'll tell you again tomorrow night, the only senior of the basketball team, the boys club that is, recognized for more than 1,000 rebounds. He received the official award for 1,000 rebounds, but since that milestone, he's already added a few more. Corey Pitts recognized, and then being the first to score in the home game of the ending home game of the season just the other night as they hosted Owsley County before the crowd of senior night fans. So we'll talk more about Pitts, his team tomorrow, how the boys' season is winding down, and that's happening, of course, for all of our other area teams as well. I'll get you caught up on all the high school basketball tomorrow and a look ahead as to the district tournament, which begins next Monday for everyone. We'll get to that and a host of other news when I see you back here tomorrow night for more of your news today. For now, one other order of business and one we need to give a bit of caution to, and that's your forecast, which indeed has literally and officially a little bit of everything. 70s, snow, tornadoes, possibly sunshine, clouds, rain, and more. Not to mention some really strong winds. 34 degrees in the morning, 64 in the afternoon. That was our low and high for your Wednesday. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're at 54 and falling if you're catching the early show. Tonight, increasing clouds, which have already begun before dark, and a low around 40 degrees. And some isolated showers beginning after 5 in the morning. And here's your forecast for tomorrow. Your Licking Valley RACC forecast puts the possibility of some dangerous weather in our midst tomorrow, more so for those living in the western part of our state. Tomorrow's forecast includes some scattered showers and thunderstorms, low pressure, and then a strong cold front late tomorrow night. It's all going to combine to give us a full day to be on alert. Scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly before noon, mostly cloudy skies, 70 degrees, maybe even a bit above that. Breezy, to put it mildly, on the onset of this, 5, 10, 15 mile per hour gusts at times. Those will increase up to 25 mile per hour gusts as the day progresses. And then tomorrow evening, showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 10 a.m. As far as that real squall line, as definitive as it will be by the time it reaches here, maybe during the overnight hours, which is part good, part bad. Bad that it's during the overnight hours, good that hopefully it will decrease in intensity as it reaches here. By this time tomorrow night, we're going to really start to be in the thick of things. I'll tell you more about it then, but winds certainly are going to be a significant problem, 40 to 50 miles per hour, and that's not going to be when we see the most severe weather, possibly. As far as the tornadoes are concerned, those in the western part of the state are going to be the ones who will really have to deal with that still minor threat more than us. But winds, 70-degree temperatures, yeah, a tornado threat. We've got snow in the forecast here and there, a little on down the line. Certainly some showers and thunderstorms associated with these systems tomorrow. So a mixed bag of tricks, literally. We'll talk about that and much more news when I see you back here tomorrow night for more of your news today. For now, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We'll see you then. Night.